Good morning, students. How are you all? Hope you all are fit at your home. Welcome to class 6, subject mathematics, chapter 5, understanding elementary shapes, lecture number 5. In the previous lecture, students, we have done how to measure an angle with the help of protractor. Hope that is clear to you. So let's move to today's topic. Today in this lecture we will cover following topics: perpendicular lines, perpendicular bisector, classification of triangle on the basis of sides and on the basis of angles. These topics we will cover today in this lecture. Let's start our lecture with our first topic, that is perpendicular lines. What are perpendicular lines? When two lines intersect each other and the angle between them is a right angle, then the lines are said to be perpendicular. I am repeating, if the two lines intersect each other, intersect, you know that they cut each other because you have done intersecting lines. So when the two lines intersect each other and the angle between them is a right angle, and when these two lines intersect each other, one angle is formed. If that angle is a right angle, then the lines are said to be perpendicular. Okay, if a line AB is perpendicular to CD, we write it as AB. This is a sign of perpendicular. AB perpendicular CD. Now see these two lines. Suppose this is line AB and this is line CD. These two lines are intersecting. These are intersecting here. This is the intersecting point. If here they are making one right angle, because what I had told you in the definition, the angle between them is a right angle. So if this angle is a right angle, then we can say that AB is perpendicular to CD. Okay. Now can you tell me any example of perpendicular lines? Just think. What do you say about a English letter T or a English letter L? Are they not perpendicular? Yes, they are perpendicular. See, they are intersecting also, and they are making the angle of 90 degree also. So these are also the example of perpendicular lines. I am repeating its definition. When two lines intersect each other and the angle between them is a right angle. They are intersecting each other. See, in every figure two lines are intersecting and the angle between them is a right angle in all the three cases. Then the lines are said to be perpendicular. That means they are perpendicular lines. And this is the symbol how to write down the perpendicular word. AB is perpendicular to CD. Now our next topic is perpendicular bisector. A line is called a perpendicular bisector of a line segment if it bisects the line segment and is perpendicular to it. Let me simplify this definition. A line is called a perpendicular bisector of a line segment if it bisects. What is the meaning of bisect? Bisect means bi means two and sect means division, equal division. Okay. So if a line is dividing a given line segment into two equal parts and is perpendicular also, making the angle of 90 degree also, then it is said to be a perpendicular bisector. It will be more clear to you with the help of example. See the example now. See, this is a line segment AB. This is a line segment AB, okay, of 10 centimeter. This is the midpoint of this line segment. Now, if on this midpoint I am making one bisector here, okay. So, see this line, I am giving it name C, D, E. So this CE line, or we can say this CD line, is dividing line segment AB into two equal parts. This AE is equal to EB. It is bisecting I said na, that dividing a given line segment into two equal parts. So it is dividing it into two equal parts and the angle between them is also 90 degree. This angle is also 90 degree. Bisector also and perpendicular also. That's why it is called perpendicular bisector. Perpendicular means making the angle of 90 degree and bisector means dividing into two equal parts. So in this case, we can say that ABCD is a perpendicular bisector of AB. We can write down CD is a perpendicular bisector of AB. See students, perpendicular are like this also. I told you a letter L. This is also a perpendicular. But this is not a perpendicular bisector because it is not dividing into two equal parts. I have told you about letter T. This is letter T. This is a perpendicular. But this is not a perpendicular bisector. Let me ask you now some questions. What about your adjacent sides of the tabletop? What do you say? Adjacent sides of the tabletop. Are they perpendicular or the perpendicular bisector? Adjacent sides of the postcard. Are they perpendicular or perpendicular bisector? They all are perpendicular. Adjacent I have told you. In the previous chapter we have done, adjacent means side by side sides whose one vertex is common. Okay. These two sides are adjacent. This side is adjacent to this sides. Okay. Our tabletop is like this na. This is our tabletop. And these are the two sides, adjacent sides. So can we say that these two sides are perpendicular or perpendicular bisector? These are perpendicular, not perpendicular bisector, because they are not dividing a given line segment into two equal parts. Now our next topic is classification of triangles. We can classify triangles on the basis of sides and on the basis of angles. First of all, we will take on the basis of sides, means when sides are given to us. When sides are given to us, the first we can classify it equilateral triangle. Equilateral triangle. What is an equilateral triangle? A triangle whose all the three sides are equal. All the three sides are equal. This is an equilateral triangle. It reflects from its name also, equilateral, whose all the three sides are equal. That triangle is called an equilateral triangle. Next is whose two sides are equal. That triangle is known as isosceles triangle. Okay? Isosceles triangle is a triangle whose two sides are equal. Next is scalene triangle, whose all the sides are of different length. Okay? So on the basis of sides, we can classify triangles as equilateral triangle, whose all the three sides are equal, isosceles triangle, whose two sides are equal, and scalene triangle, whose all the sides are of different length. Now on the basis of angles. On the basis of angles also, we can classify triangles into three. First is acute angled triangle. Acute angled triangle is a triangle if all the three angles are less than 90 degree. That you all know that a triangle has three sides and three angles. Okay, so if all the three angles of a triangle are less than 90 degree, then we can say that it is an acute angle triangle. Next is second is right angled triangle. If one angle of a triangle is 90 degree, exactly 90 degree, out of three angles, if one angle is of 90 degree, then we can say that it is a right angle triangle. See, it look like this. This is a right angle. Okay, so this is a right angled triangle. And third type of triangle is obtuse angled triangle. If one angle of a triangle is obtuse means more than 90 degree, then a triangle is called an obtuse angle triangle. Okay, let us recall all the types of triangle once again. Triangles can be classified into two, on the basis of sides and on the basis of angles. On the basis of sides, we can classify as equilateral triangle, isosceles triangle, scalene triangle. Equilateral triangle is a triangle whose all the three sides are equal. Isosceles triangle is a triangle whose two sides are equal. And scalene triangle is a triangle whose all the three sides are of different length. On the basis of angles. See beta, when we are classifying the triangles on the basis of angles, then we will not see the side, whether their sides are equal or unequal, or how many sides are equal. Okay, as we are classifying it on the basis of angles, so we will see only the angles. First is acute angle triangle. If all the three angles are less than 90 degree, if all the three angles are acute, then a triangle is said to be acute angle triangle. Right angle triangle, if one angle of a triangle is 90 degree, like this, then it is called a right angle triangle. If one angle is of 90 degree, what can you say about the other two angles? What type of other two angles are? They are acute. They can never be obtuse. We cannot make any triangle with two right angles. Okay, that I will tell you later on. Obtuse angled triangle. If one angle of a triangle is obtuse, that is more than 90 degree, one angle only, not more than one, then we can say it is an obtuse angle triangle. Now see, I am saying that two right angles can never make a triangle. Why? See, if we have two right angles, how can we make it? This is your baseline of a triangle. One right angle will be like this here, and if one more right angle you are making here, it will be like here. So, can we make a triangle? No. So, we cannot make any triangle with two right angles, and we cannot make a triangle with two obtuse angle also. This is your baseline of a triangle. Obtuse angle always go outside. So, this is an obtuse angle. If here also I am making the obtuse angle, it will again go outside like this. Here also. So, can we make a triangle? No. Okay. So, for right angle triangle also, only one angle can be of 90 degree, and in obtuse angle triangle also, one angle of a triangle is obtuse. Your homework on the basis of today's lecture is to do exercise 5.5, question number 1, 2 and 4 in book, and exercise 5.6, question 1, 2 and 3 in book. All the questions you have to do in book only. Now it's time for homework solution of exercise 5.4 given in lecture number 4. First question was, what is the measure of a right angle? A right angle is of measure 90 degree. And what is the measure of a straight angle? Straight angle measures 180 degree. Second question, that is true false. The measure of an acute angle is less than 90 degree. That is true. The measure of an obtuse angle is less than 90 degree. False. Obtuse angle is always greater than 90 degree. The measure of a reflex angle is greater than 180 degree. That is true. The measure of one complete revolution is 360 degree. That is also true. If measure of angle A is equal to 53 degree, here M means measure. If measure of angle A equal to 53 degree and measure of angle B equal to 35 degree, then measure of angle A is greater than measure of angle B. This is also true. Question number 3 was, write down the measure of some acute angles and some obtuse angles. See, some acute angles are less than 90 degree. So less than 90 degree you can write down any angle. I have written few: 45 degree, 50 degree, 52 degree, 80 degree, 89 degree even. These all are acute angles. Obtuse angle, that is greater than 90 degree, 95 degree, 91 degree, 120 degree, 175 degree, 179 degree. That is less than 180 degree but greater than 90 degree. So, these are obtuse angle. Question number 4 is, measure the angles given below using the protractor and write down their measures. Here I have written the measure of all the 4 angles given in the book. Okay, that's why I asked you to do these questions in the book itself. Question number 5 and 6, they are that which angle is larger. First of all, you have to estimate and then you have to measure. That you can do yourself. Estimation is different of every student, and then you have to measure that which angle is greater and which one is smaller. Question number 7 is filling the blanks with acute, obtuse, right and straight. First filling the blanks is, an angle whose measure is less than that of right angle is acute angle. An angle whose measure is greater than that of right angle is obtuse angle. See, an angle whose measure is the sum of the measure of two right angles. Whose measure is the sum of two right angles. Two right angles means 90 plus 90. That is 180 degree. And 180 degree angle is called a straight angle. D. When the sum of the measure of two angles is that of right angle, then each one of them is a acute angle. E. When the sum of the measure of two angles is that of a straight angle, and if one of them is acute, then the other should be obtuse. Okay, if one is acute and the sum is 180 degree, then other must be obtuse, because two acute angles will not make the obtuse angle. It must be one obtuse. Question number 8 is, find the measure of the angle shown in the figure. First estimate with your eyes and then actual measurement. That also you will do yourself. Question number 9, find the measure between the hands of a clock in each figure. See, in first exercise we have done this question, this type of question with the help of numbers only. Okay, by looking the gap between two numbers. But now in this exercise we have to do it by measuring it with the help of protractor. So first clock will show 90 degree, second 30 degree, and the third one is 180 degree. See the straight line is there. Question number 10 I ask you not to do. Question number 11, measure the angles, measure and classify each angle. You have to measure each angle and then you have to classify that whether it is acute, obtuse, straight or right. Hope you have understood. Do the homework. Thank you.